Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Kingdon Radio Hour podcast. My name is Angel, better known as Tumblr user Tvgremlin. And today I'm joined by a very special guest, our first guest on the pod, Tumblr user Purplebutterflyglasses, aka Paige. Paige, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
We're so happy to have you. It's so exciting.
Yay.
You're our first on audio guest. We're so happy to have you. Let's go.
I'm so excited to be here and just yap it up. You guys
That's
have no clue. I'm so excited.
That's the plan. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the finale, obviously, the fireworks scene, obviously.
Yeah.
We're also going to be talking a bit about, not talking about, but responding to some asks. So you were able to write in this week to the pod to talk about how you got into Kingdon or just whatever you want. Someone asked our season 3 predictions, and I have
Ooh.
answers to this question.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it. So first, I want to talk to you, Paige. How did you get into Kingdon? How did you wind up here?
How did I end up here?
Yes.
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea. I was on TikTok. I hadn't even heard of the pit. And this was the break between season 1 and season 2. I want to say it was probably, let's say, after Halloween, I think. And I was like, oh, I can binge a new show. I
Yeah, why
think I would
not?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got free time,
Yeah.
whatever.
Don't we all?
And I know, I don't have responsibilities. Let me just
Real.
dive in.
Real. Yep. I don't have a life to get back to. What if I just watch the pit all day? Hello?
Yes. What? And
What?
then what? And then I started, let's see, season 1. I did one episode every night. And I was trying to have willpower and be like, okay, don't just binge this. So I
Yeah.
did the one episode and then the next day. And then it started being 2 episodes a night. And then 3. And then I had plowed through it. So immediately after I finished it, I was like, oh my God, I think I missed so much. Let me start again. And
Yeah.
then
Yep. Real. Same. Real. Yep.
and then it's been like a cycle ever since then. But I guess the kingdom of it all felt like obviously you kind of the first episode, you're like,
Why is he looking at her like that?
yeah.
I don't
Why
know. And then you just see him in the back leaning up against the nurse's station, just staring at her,
yes.
and you're like, sir, what are we doing? You're wearing
What
a
is
wedding ring.
what is this, sir? And I was like, okay. My ears are perked up like a little puppy. And
Exactly.
and then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm terrible at keeping the time frame for the rest of the season. But obviously, I think that same first episode, that's when they have the little boy with
Yeah.
the gummies. And I was like,
Yes.
okay. The more scenes, it's more kind of like a domino effect. Like
Yep.
I was already there, but each moment kept adding and adding, and it has snowballed
And
into
now
this.
we're here.
Yeah, now it's an obsession, and they haunt me in my dreams. But it's okay.
Exactly. Have you seen all those TikToks, people being like, all this nature, and I'm still thinking about Mel and Langdon kissing? And because that's
Yeah.
me. That's me for real. I will be at work, at my hospital job, walking around, and I will go see a patient, and I'll be like, oh, God, it would be so cool if, like, I wrote a fic where, like, one of them had to do, and I'm like, girl, you gotta control it. You gotta control it while you're on the job. We have a very similar origin story. I started watching during the original run of season 1, which I am very proud of. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, guys.
Look at you.
Look
I'm
at me. I
look
was
at
stuck in
you.
bed. I've talked about this in the pod before, but I have chronic pain. So I was stuck in bed. I could not walk. I had very little to do with my life. And I was like, oh, you know what? I might have to have surgery. I should watch this doctor show. So then I can
Oh
like log
no.
in and be like, this is not scary anymore. And episode 1, I was like, people are going to ship Mel and Langdon. And at first I didn't know, because if you've been a fangirl for a long time,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you start watching a show and you're like, I wonder who people ship on this. And
Yes.
it's fun to be right. Because I was like, oh,
Yes.
people are going to ship Mel and Langdon. And I was like, I'm sure people are shipping Robbie and Langdon too. Oh, and I'm sure people are shipping. And like, Huckle Robbie didn't surprise me, but I do remember when it started and I was like, this is unsurprising to me. Especially because I
Yeah.
saw the people who got into it and I was like, I understand your freak. I get what's going on here.
Yes.
But
And it's like I get why it's so popular, but at the same time, it's like, wow, that is super popular.
what makes
What's
me laugh too is like I feel like when it started, I was like, this is gonna be the big popular gay ship, and
Yeah.
now it is. And what's funny too is people will be like, that's so weird. That's such a weird one. I'm like, you don't understand how people ship. Because
You
if you
don't
think that
you
Uncle
don't
Robbie
get
is
it.
weird, you don't get it. You actually don't get it. If you
You're
think
so far
Kingdon is
from
weird,
getting
you need
it.
to stay away. Like, you don't understand. Yeah, but I remember watching it, and I remember I was on the Reddit forum. Don't go there.
Oh
Couldn't
no. I was
recommend
gonna
it
say
less.
no, I
Yeah,
hate Reddit.
I hate Reddit so much, but I was on the Reddit forum. That's where I hung out originally.
Uh-huh.
Hadn't like joined any Kingdon circles, and also it really hadn't hit Tumblr yet. I feel like
Mhm.
I joined when people were like, "This is cool," and then it became what it is
This
now.
monster, yes.
This giant monster, and we're getting called weird freaks on Instagram, and I hate it here. But
Yes. Why?
I I remember so well seeing people be like, they're gonna ship Mel and Langdon, and originally I was like, I kind of just want them to stay friends. And then I watched the ambulance space scene, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
mm-mm, nope. And then I was on AO3, and I remember reading Kingdon fanfic when there were 2 pages on AO3, and
Get
being
out
like,
of here.
I am dead serious. I remember reading and being like, oh, the first fic was published 2 weeks ago. Because it was that fresh at the time. It was episode 5. It had been airing
You're
for
like,
5 weeks.
ah,
Avocado Moon, you don't understand how much of the groundwork she lays. A lot of the original stuff was like her. And then I
yeah.
remember I read Divine Penny in a Boat when it came out and being like, I'm down bad for these people.
Yes.
And then I like took some breaks and came back really strong for season 2. And now I'm here.
Now I live here. This is
I
my
live
home.
here. I'm being insane. Oh yeah, I'm having such a good time already. Hell yes.
Yay.
Yay. All right, you are such a gift to the fandom though, because if anyone's familiar with
Oh,
I'm gonna brag about you for 2 seconds now. If
okay.
anyone's familiar with Kingdom Nation, you've definitely seen you posting up in there. I feel like your GIF reactions to things always get me because I am not that fast, but I'll see something and be like, no, exactly, and I am rolling. Your fic is great. I feel like you're like one of the pillars. There's like 6 of us in Kingdom Nation who never shut up, and we keep that bad boy going, okay?
The
And then I'll see
energy is up.
the
We
energy
have
is
to
up
keep
because
moving.
there's almost 4,000 members in that group, but if you look at it, there's
Crazy.
really 12 of us. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like,
We're
and
just
we're
happy to be there.
I was just so happy to be there, and it makes me laugh too because I'll sometimes like, for example, I had a post and someone new was commenting, and I was like, oh my god, I forget other people can see this. It's not just me yelling with my friends about these doctors. Oh my god.
It's
Or
not
like,
just our group chat.
it's
We're
not just our group chat, but it feels like a group chat.
it
Spiritually, Kingdom
does.
Nation is a group chat.
Yes.
Um, I once had someone reach out to me and was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much for starting this group." And I was like, "I am not the original creator of this group." And they were like, "Oh really?" And I was like,
Just
"No, I'm just insane.
I just
Sorry.
moved in.
I
Sorry.
just moved in. Like, it's my house now, but it's not. I'm not the owner of this house.
Yes.
The owner of this house is HBO. Let's be real." Um, okay, let's talk finale. Let's discuss finale. My
Okay.
God,
Where do we
finale.
start?
My notes are chronological by just what I wanted to take notes on. So for
Yeah.
viewers at home, all 12 of you, I take my notes based on watching the episode.
Right.
They are chronological as the scenes appear, so it's just like me watching it. So it starts with the Langdon drug test scene. I mean, I
Wow.
mean, wow. So
Wow.
I had that. Did you have that spoiled? I swear I had that spoiled. Did we both have that
I
spoiled?
did, yes, but I
Yes.
didn't I didn't think it was going to be what it was.
I
I
knew.
thought we would see like his back and
Yeah.
then like,
Not
oh,
a
obviously that's a urinal. But no.
not a pointed shot of him removing his scrub pants.
No, I was like, oh. I,
Okay.
like looking through my fingers, like, should I or
I kept
no?
pausing the scene because I was like cringing so hard. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And the entire time I kept watching it, I was like, I am Mel King right now. I feel that I feel her so deeply, girl. I Yeah, I wrote hooting and hollering in my fucking house as a big because me as a big ass wedding ring. Sorry, show me your hands, big ass wedding ring. Because he show me your hands, big ass wedding ring. Did they make the ring bigger for season 2? I swear to God,
It
I was
really,
rewatching season 1. It feels like it got bigger.
I don't know. This is a let me go a little off tangent here.
Please,
Obviously, I think Patrick started working out more
yeah,
between season 1 and 2. So like his arms look bigger. But I don't
yeah.
know if they were like, "Oh, your arms are bigger. Let's get you this comically huge ring to make it match." And I'm like, I hope not, because that seems like so goofy, but it literally looks like if
No,
you
it
go
does.
to
I swear it's the same one, but like, why is it? It has to be the same one, but it
it's
looks like it's a
huge.
party city size.
It
Maybe we're just
is.
cued in, but like, it looks like it got bigger by like half an inch. It takes up half his
Yes.
hand. It's so big, and it
And
doesn't fit him anymore either, which is
and when
crazy because he like gained muscle and probably a little weight too. He's
yes,
bigger this season, thank
he
God.
looks yes, he looks fab, of course.
Obviously.
But then like that ring, especially when like you see him trying to talk with his hands, and
Yeah.
then it just starts sliding, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Or when
this is
he,
too much.
or when Dana says my favorite scene in the whole fucking show. After he's treated Becca and Mel's up the room, and he's walking over, and Dana's trying to talk to him, and his eyes are just watching Mel walk, and you're watching him like very pointedly
Yes.
stare at her over Dana's shoulder, and then Dana's like, maybe you should run that by the missus first, and then he just lifts his and just the big old ring. I swear that thing, if he shook his hand, it would rattle around. Like it doesn't fit. It's
It,
crazy. So I was losing my mind at the big ass ring. I also really love the lab tech representation. I work in the lab at my hospital, and I was
whoop,
very happy
whoop,
to be like,
whoop, whoop.
me for real, except I wouldn't get to
That's
go up with
me.
him. I would just process the sample and be grossed out by it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they probably wouldn't let you in there. They'd just be like,
No, I'd be like, please, and they'd be like, no, this is against the law or whatever. Um, I love that scene so much. I also we gotta talk about it. The fact that his hands are steady as a goddamn board in that scene,
oh my god,
like
not even the slightest
not
tremor.
even the slightest tremor. It's at least chronologically, it's immediately after he does the like reduction.
Yes,
He's like,
he
he comes out,
ran
he's all
up there.
sweaty. He's running full force, and he's up there and hands steady as a board. He's making jokes. He's like, this is gonna go well. It's gonna be fine. And then as
No
soon as
big
he's with
deal.
Mel, tremor.
Hmm.
I wonder
Hmm.
why. God, I wonder. My hands are
I
shaking from holding back from you.
I
God, I wonder.
know. no. Ah ah ah.
Okay, next point.
Yes.
Kinship to adoption. Do doctor nurses qualify? Mohan and Abbott adopt the baby. 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 So in the
oh
future,
my
you can
gosh.
babysit Kingdon's kids in like one big happy family group. I am building cathedrals
oh my
like it's the
gosh.
fucking Vatican. I have ideas, but the haters are trying to silence me, and the haters are never Wiley.
it's the Sistine Chapel, but it's me. It's me and my Muhammad Kingdom
Oh my god.
babies.
Oh my god. R.I.P. Mo Abbott. I'll mourn you for
Oh,
the rest of my life.
I
Wow. I went on my personal Instagram and was like, the episode was great. Fuck what they did to Samira Mohan, my baby. Like the finale was wonderful. They really stuck the landing. And I remember when I was originally watching season 1 and watching it week to week, I watched the finale and I
yeah,
was like, oh my god, they're not going to be able to wrap it up. And then they did, and it was really good. And I was like, okay. And then with season 2, I was like, they're not going to be able to wrap it up. And then they did, and it was
yeah,
good. So I'm wrong every time, apparently. But
yeah.
I
You
was,
hit this moment of panic. You're like,
yeah,
this is going. There's
it's
too
going the wrong
much.
way. There's too much happening. And then they did a good job, but they did completely destroy Samir Mohan. I miss her. I'll miss her every day. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. I miss her so much already.
yeah.
Um,
That shot of her when they show her watching the fireworks in her street clothes, and it's just,
yeah.
I
And you're just
teared up.
I teared up too. I cried during that scene. And then I mean my only note about that scene is McVody on top, but that's like
Oh
not
yeah,
really
I was
I
gonna
mean
say,
I love McVody
hell
so
yeah.
much. Hell yeah. Every ship on the pit is beautiful and special, except for people who ship Whitaker and Santos in a romantic capacity. You people are freaks, get out of my house. But everyone
yes,
else I love, except Kingdon on top, obviously.
yes,
Um, yeah, but I was like, Mohan adopt the baby because I was like, are they gonna go that way? That was my like being wildly incorrect take because she
yeah,
didn't have that whole thing at the beginning of the season with Cassie where she's like, you can hear my eggs dying, which I kind of hated because I've always really seen her as like someone who doesn't want kids. I feel like that's almost another reason I love her and Abbott together because I feel like they would be a really beautiful couple who care about their work and he can support her and just kind of be like her house husband a little because he's like
yeah,
already done all the things and she can be that breath of fresh air, especially because he's
yes.
canonically a widower with one leg and PTSD. You know what I mean?
Right. Like they need to take a break. Like
They do.
let's not bring
Or
any small children into this
yeah,
yet.
exactly. Or they could like foster. I read a fic where they fostered
Yes.
and it was amazing.
That would
Um,
be so cute.
I also love Dana being like, I'd take the baby home, but my husband would kill me. Girl,
Do
you
it
don't even.
anyways.
Girl, you're 60. Don't take my baby home. Like, you've done enough, Miss Girl. You've done enough. You've done
how
enough.
how good does she look though to be
She looks
60?
so. Or maybe she's
She's
like in
a
her 50s. I don't know.
babe.
Catherine Lanasse is a baddie. She's a baddie. I love her so much. I.
She's fabulous.
She's fabulous. I'll
And
probably.
side tangent, her
Yes.
saying that the Kingdom scene was her favorite of season 2. Haha.
Girl. girl, I'm patting myself on the back. We got her. We got him. I love her so much. Her
Yeah.
interviews, I wept when she won her Emmy. I love her so much. And she also just like her and Noah Wiley really care about healthcare workers in a very big way,
Yes.
which I got my healthcare job like while the Pit was winning all its Emmys, and I remember just being like, oh, I get it now. Because I was
Yes.
training, like reading Pit
I'm
fanfic in
in
the freaking
it.
break room. Okay, the weirdest and the wildest of them all. Abbott, what? What's happening? It's night and day, man. The night shift, I don't want a night shift spinoff for that exact reason.
Wow.
Sacrilege. I know, sacrilege.
Oh
I
my
just
gosh,
think,
you've hurt me.
I'm so sorry. I mean, why do you want a night shift spinoff?
Here's how I feel about it. I feel like they are too competent and too cool, like nonchalant. They've already got it down. Like it would be an awesome like one episode, but like
Exactly.
as a season, like an arc, I don't see it doing anything like crazy unless we brought our crazy day shift over, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
we
Or
have like
what I think is that what drama does Dr. Shen have? What drama does Dr. Ellis have? They'd have to
they
give
have
them
none.
all arcs and drama. And Abbott has drama, but let's be so for real. Abbott's drama is mainly my best friend Robbie wants to kill himself, and I'm in love with Samir Mohan, which is like great, but you have to add so much more plot into the show. And
Yes,
in a way, you're gonna wind up like ruining some of the characters. You're gonna wind up like
yes.
hating Shen. And I don't wanna hate Shen. I love
I
Shen.
love
That's my
Sid.
man. I love him so
I love
much.
him.
That's my boy. During the MCI, everyone was like, wow, he must be so traumatized to be that chill and just sipping his Dunkin' Donuts. And then you find out that's just his vibe is so
Yeah,
important to me. I love him so much.
I do too.
I,
He's everything. And like when they put him and Ellis together, especially,
oh,
I
it's
think
so
that's just
special.
it's so fun. But like when they talk about like platonic
Yep,
male
yep,
female
yep.
friendships.
Oh, here's Ellis and Shen. Also, by the way, do you know platonic relationships between men and women exist? That typically the women are lesbians, though, which
Yeah,
is what's happening on the
right.
Pit. I also hate it when they're like sibling dynamic for Kingdon. No, 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 that's not how siblings act. Like, if you've ever seen a brother and a sister, no, it's Whitaker and Santos. That's a sibling.
Yes. Or even you could say Langdon and Garcia,
Langdon
which
and Garcia, yes, I
they're
love
more
Langdon and Garcia.
they're more playful like banter, which I don't know if necessarily siblings, they might just be really good friends, but that same vibe, that's
Yeah.
like platonic. But then again, like you said, maybe that's just where she's a lesbian. We
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
know. We don't know.
Or another one that's great, Javadi and Whitaker. Explore
Yes.
Javadi and Whitaker. Like, I know I don't want to ship them. Whitaker's a gay
No.
man. You can never tell me that man is straight. You can look me in the eye. Don't come into my house and lie. But Whitaker and Javadi are so cute. And that scene where where they're like talking to the guy who skipped dialysis. That scene where he's talking to the kid and they're like, "Oh, we have a cafeteria. We have a good cafeteria." And Javadi's like, "Don't lie to him." That's a great
Yeah.
scene. Or like with
Cafeteria.
yeah, it's great. Or oh my god, Din and Emma and Langdon and Javadi, like
Yes.
he's so big brother to them. He's so paternal. It's so cute. But when he's with Mel, he's like, "I would die for you," and that's not really the energy that I
It's a
feel like the
lot different.
yeah
Even just like you can sense it in the air. Even if he says the same, like he asked Emma how her day was going, but
yeah.
the vibe was not the same.
He was
Like,
joking around with Emma and just being like, yeah, and it was very cute. And then with Mel, he's like, I'm staring into your soul and you've saved my life. And with Emma, he's like, how is your day? He's just asking. Or even like,
yeah,
I don't know, Dana and Robbie are such a good male female friendship. Most of the
yes,
show is people being friends. God forbid we want them to kiss. Okay, yeah, but we are the night crawlers, the weirdest and wildest of them all. I was a little cringe. It was a little cringe. I
it
loved
was a
it, but it
little
was a
bit.
little cringe.
It was cringe, but like in a good way, because you're just like these are nerds.
They're
Just a
cringe, but they are free. You know what I mean?
yes, they're
I
just a
feel like,
bunch of nerds, just nerding
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's a thing that people forget, and like, we get reminded of it on the show. It makes me so happy, which is that they are all doctors and all had to do incredibly well in school to get to this point. So
Yes,
even if like Langdon's kind of jockey when it was revealed, we have to talk about the Revolutionary War. When it's revealed that
yes,
he like loves the Revolutionary War, I'm like, yeah, of course he does. He had to go to like study groups every night in college. Like he's not
yes,
this is like sure he played football, but also he has to like have had an amazing score on the SATs. You don't
right.
just fall into medicine. You have to really want it.
Yes, even like looking at how different their personalities are and how they come across, they're essentially at ground level. They're all nerds,
Exactly.
and
It's beautiful.
not non derogatory. Like
No derogatory. Yes, we're
they
nerds.
are. Yeah, obviously we're nerds
Yeah.
talking about them being nerds. So it's totally okay. But
Yeah.
it's like you have to have some kind of affinity for, studying,
Yeah.
knowledge,
Yeah.
learning constantly to even be in this position. And
Yeah.
then, okay, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and have your little side interest. I love that he loves the reenactors, and then I love that they brought it up that Mel likes the
I
reenactors.
know. Oh, Cassie McKay, leader of Kingdon Nation at this point on the show.
Yes.
Her and Dana. I feel like Dana
I
would
was gonna
ship them
say
so hard.
Dana is like honorary now. Let's get her in there. There's been so many moments where she's just there,
She's clocking
and
it.
it's yeah, it like especially obviously when she waved him over when
Yep.
Mel hit her
Yep.
head, big
Yep.
one,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then with Becca, and she's like, "Oh,
Yes.
that's who we're looking for."
Yep, just who we
Okay,
were looking for. And he comes in when he walks in, just like, "Hello, I'm here," and Mel going, "Yep, yep," and nodding, and Robbie being
yeah.
like, "All right." Also, I feel like it's biggest Kingdon Cathedral this season, arguably, and the only thing where I was like, maybe we're going canon is, well, I guess Mo Abbott's not going canon anymore, which
Ugh,
makes me want to cry forever. But
ugh,
that was going to be our consolation prize. We weren't going to get Kingdom, we were going to get Mo Abbott, and I was gonna be like, this is fine, this is fine. One of the
yeah.
doctors has to kiss their hot attending, and then it didn't happen. I'm bummed. But when Robbie's in the doorway staring at her like, what? And then Robbie does the double take when they're passing off the paper and it looks like a freaking Renaissance painting. And they're
Yes,
like smiling at each other with like the halo of light, like, I love you. Okay, we have made it
beautiful.
4 points into my notes.
Sorry, I'll stop. I'll stop.
No, it's okay. I'm just laughing because I'm like, this is the vibe I wanted. We got all the good jokes, all the good things. Um,
Yay.
the fireworks in the background of the scene where they're bringing in the guy, I just wrote, that's the Kingdon Cathedral, actually. Anytime there's fireworks, that's Kingdon. I don't know what you're talking about. I have some notes about the free birth patients. I thought that was a really interesting choice. I also think it's
Ooh.
interesting that they had births in both seasons, considering that ERs don't do a lot of deliveries, which I thought
No,
was interesting.
they usually automatically as soon as you pull into the ER, they want you up in the OB floor.
Yeah, they don't
So I
want you
was like,
down there at all.
no.
It's also kind of funny to me because they do it a little where they're like, especially with the first delivery, like, we gotta get her up, we gotta get her up. It's an ER reference because of that whole episode where they keep trying to get the lady up and then she dies. They're always referencing ER. But I
Yeah.
liked that they showed the dangers of it because it's very much like it's on the rise. It's so scary. And I think that the baby and the birth and it being a positive experience where they save both mom and baby was so special and
Thank
beautiful.
God.
And, like, it was a really good way to end it. I really liked it.
Mhm.
Um, I'm so mad Langdon never held a baby this season. How dare
I'm
they?
so glad that you said that because that was about to be my next part. I was like, why didn't I see Mel holding baby Jane Doe? And why didn't I see Langdon holding baby Jane Doe?
Why didn't I say Mel,
And
Langdon, Holy Baby, Jane Doe together, considering the
yeah,
fact that, I don't know, they're besties? Also, Mel, I refuse to believe that woman doesn't love kids. And Langdon, you're a whole father. Why weren't you hanging out with the baby? Like,
why were you not? They had the perfect setup too because he was there when they found him. And
he was.
Donnie had the baby.
Well, I bet Donnie was like feeling emotional because Donnie was like, I have a baby at home.
Yeah.
Langdon being like, oh my god, it's a baby. Like, sir, you have two small children. Act like a dad. And he has such intense dad energy too.
Yeah.
Why? I'm pissed about it. I'm annoyed. I also, watching some of those scenes, I watched one though with my mom, and she was like, pick up the baby, pick up the baby. Like,
Yeah.
Trinity doesn't try to pick up the baby to calm her, and I'm like, most babies just want to be held. Especially when they're that
Yeah.
little. They just want to be picked up.
Yes. Someone pick up that baby.
Pick up the baby, cuddle the baby, hang out with the baby. Oh my god, more hanging out with the baby. When
Yeah.
Dana's holding the baby and is like, "What if you fostered her?" So good.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone, let me lure you in to foster this baby.
This is me skipping ahead to the Javati Whitaker conversation. By the way, Mel catching strays.
I was so upset.
I was
So
so mad.
upset.
I paused to get angry. I was so mad.
My personal friend, Dr. Melissa King, who hurts no one,
No
had to
one.
get had to get a stray like that. Ridiculous.
Also, the stray was just her being like, she's autistic, and I don't like that. What?
Yeah. Well, I
Hello? I
mean,
was so mad.
and I'm such a Javati girl, so I was like,
Yeah.
ow, that hurt me.
It hurt my
Ow.
soul. I'm 20. I too love to fail at work at my healthcare job and be embarrassing and stick my foot in my mouth. I too am posting on the internet while at work. And I was so mad because I was like, well, I'm autistic first and I'm pissed at this. I was so mad. I was like, girl, what? And her.
Come
I
on.
also really loved Whitaker being like, he's a person with substance use disorder after going cut the shit, man, like 45 minutes earlier.
Yeah. He's Whitaker's just having a moment. He's like,
Yeah.
everyone's just reflecting on their break room conversations. And they're like, well, maybe I should just, I don't know.
You know, take
Eat.
a breather. Be a
Yeah.
better person.
That break room really just, whew, it brings a lot out of you.
It does, it does. I feel like they walk in there and it like they like get like shot. I've seen that bit where like you're in the fitting room at Kohl's and like they send like a poisonous gas to make you hate your body. Like it's that. They walk in the room and they're like, "Oh my god, I must confess my deepest fears. I must be so like I must fall in love in the break room, cheat in the break room." Hashtag Braidgate. Um
Not break gate.
Don't talk to me about picking. Robbie and Abbott do have PTSD, babe. Yeah, where she's like, well, I don't know what the hell is going on with Abbott. And I'm like, it's PTSD. They both have PTSD. But I am happy for Javadi. I think that that's a good process for her. I remember at the end of season 1, I was like, Javadi, I'm so excited for your lovely life as a dermatologist. Like, it's going to be great. And I know they cut a scene of her telling her parents, which pisses me off. How dare they? But I do
Oh,
kind of love her being afraid Robbie was going to be disappointed. And it was one of the only times this season where Robbie kind of, other than like doctor the fuck up, which was great, where he
yes.
kind of stands up and is like, I think you can do whatever you want to do, Victoria. You can
Right.
do this. And but you can tell, even though like he's a little disappointed, he does want everyone to go in emergency med, but he's like, yeah, you can do this. And reflecting back on her season, yeah, she can do this. And I think she's gonna just be such a good, like, a light for the pit. I also think that her doing that means we'll get to see her again and she can like take the Jefferson
Yes.
role, and in future seasons Javadi can come down and like help us cite cases and we'll get to see her for a few episodes. Thank
Yes.
God.
I
Thank
love that
God.
idea. Just have like you technically cycle out of the, residency and everything else.
Yeah.
You could still come around. We could still see you
Yeah.
and, drop some lore,
Yeah.
do your
Well,
little
she can
case.
probably, well, she can do her residency at PTMC and she can just come down to the ER, which
Yeah.
is the goal. That's the dream, baby.
I feel like out of all the, I guess, residents we see, I feel like he is the most likely to stay. I feel like there's so much, like, it's so juicy. Like,
It's so juicy.
why would you get rid of him?
Yeah.
He's the drama factory,
He is, and
and we're
we
clocking
love him.
in.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, I've definitely seen some people be like, if they wrote off Mel or Langton, I'd stop watching the show. Even like non-Kingdon people. Mel is the biggest fan favorite. Okay, Whitaker is a therapy dog this season. That's all he did. He should have a little vest.
He, yes, I don't know, like his vibe, he's been like super, super comforting, but then other times he's been like rock star
Yeah.
teacher. So it's like, you got a lot going on, bud.
I
Just a little,
he had a great day.
yes, like he's one of the, until he lost his badge. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's whatever.
Who
And
cares? Like
His Uber.
his Uber, oh my god, yeah, all his money is gone. So real though. Okay, if Abbott blinked at me while I was in labor, I would have the most insane set of emotions. If I had failed to do a free birth and I was in the hospital and my doctor winked at me and was Sean Hannity, I would die. I would
Yeah.
go into cardiac arrest.
You were just like,
What?
let's go.
Let's go. Actually, let's go. Actually, I love the medical system. I lie. Okay, we gotta talk about we gotta talk about Becca and Adam. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Becca,
Poor
Becca, 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 Becca,
Rebecca
Becca.
Rebecca King. I have so many feelings about you,
I know.
Becca.
Girl, I
Girl,
go so back and forth with her because I love her, but I don't love how she treats Mel. So that
I
makes it so hard.
I don't. Yeah, it's hard because it's like I love. Like I'm so happy she's eating ice cream, watching fireworks, and watching her favorite movie with her
Yes,
man. Get it, girl. She's like a
yes,
woman in her 30s. She should be allowed to do that. She's not a child.
absolutely.
I saw someone bring this up too. Like, Becca's really good at self advocating. Her being like, I want my pills crushed. I want orange juice. Can I talk to you about this? And talking with Langdon and like really taking charge of her care. And I love that Langdon gave her that autonomy. It's such a good sign. I don't know, I loved it. It was so good. And him being like,
Yes,
I'm not gonna tell you, it's HIPAA. And Mel being like, but I'm your favorite. Why won't you tell me?
right.
And I don't know, it was so good and so special. And to see her sitting on that couch, like, we're gonna watch Elf. I was invited to stay. And she's allowed to make those plans. But also, you had prior plans. You had
Yes.
things you were going to do before this, and it's not kind or fair. And her being like, they have to ask me, and her being like, why? Was so
Are you coming
good.
too?
Are you
Are you
coming
coming?
too?
Yes.
She's like, no, I actually like have to cheat with my boss. Sorry.
Ah,
It's like,
heyo.
hey, I gotta cheat in the break room real quick. Sorry. Yeah, but her crashing out with Becca is so important to me. I also love that we could see Mel being less than perfect because she
Yes.
spends the whole season being perfect. She spends her whole life being perfect. When you boil it down, Mel has been a primary caregiver of her adult sister for most of her life. She
Yeah.
has, and she also probably was a glass child before that. She doesn't have an autism diagnosis, even though she is clearly autistic.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just breaks my heart. It's really cool to see her get to be angry. It's cool to get to see her blow up. And it's
Yes.
cool to get someone to come out and be like, that was kind of fucked up, what you did and what Becca did.
Yes. Yes. It wasn't like he didn't need to be 100% on either side. Like he could be neutral and it made sense because
He could be the
obviously he
doctor.
yes, he was Becca's doctor, but then as Mel's friend, he could see that she's not treating Mel how she should either. It's a
Yeah.
tough spot to be in.
Yeah. And I also just love how brother-in-law and sister-in-law they are. Like, frankly,
Yes.
are you ready to hang out with Becca King professionally for the rest of your life?
Get ready to watch Elf.
Are you ready to watch Elf? Are you ready to watch Elf? Are you ready to sit on the couch with Mel? Are you ready to also Becca King? Are you ready to hang out with two feral children? Because you get ready. Are you excited? Are you excited to be an aunt? And she's like, no, I'm not. Please don't. Yeah, just you live your life. You're in your 30s, queen. Go hang out with your boyfriend. I'm so happy for her and her boyfriend. Yeah, I also would never forgive her if I was her sister. I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
6 months?
And it's like I've seen people like, oh, Mel's overreacting. Mel underreacted, if you ask me. I feel
Yeah,
like she could
yeah,
have been a lot more mad. Which she
yeah.
shouldn't have yelled at Becca, but
No.
maybe she should have yelled a little bit.
Like,
Mm,
I don't know. I also, it's hard because, like, she's been doing this for so long. So I almost
yes,
want her to crash out. She has so much
yes.
anger and she's never done anything wrong, which is why I think it's hotter if they cheat because she's
Mm,
never done anything wrong in her life. So for them to cheat, it would be one, Frank accepting, like, that, like, he would have to, like, really be like, I'm trying to be a better person. So he'd be doing this bad thing and going way out of his comfort zone.
mm,
And then Mel, like he'd be giving into pleasure, and then Mel would have to be doing a selfish bad thing for the first time in her life
yes.
ever, and would be aware that she's hurting people, but she can't stop because she's finally choosing herself.
She's never been allowed to be selfish. So to
No,
her to make that decision would be, I think, monumental because
yeah,
like earth shattering. Like
yeah.
just to avoid and ignore everything in your head saying, "Hey, I shouldn't do this. This is wrong." And then you see him and he's looking at your lips and you're like, "Well, I don't
Well,
know."
I'm nodding so hard right now. Exactly, the Olivia Wilde nodding meme. Um,
Yes.
yes, yes, it's so
That's
good.
exactly
It's
what he's
so
talking
good.
about. Yep.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, yeah, I just love them. I also love the original, the Mel in the ambulance bay, the original ambulance bay scene from
Mm,
the original set of Becca scenes where he comes out and it's like, why are you calling them? They get interrupted, but I love that he's not questioning her. He's just asking her questions. He's just
yes.
letting her get there on her own. And if she never were to get there, I think he'd be fine with it too. He's just trying to talk to her on her level. He's trying to understand
Yes.
where she's coming from in a way that no one else does. Because Dana's like, well, you just got to get over it. And Langdon's like, why are you calling them? What's going on? Why is it
I feel
hurting you?
like
Tell me
I
about
feel
it.
a lot of people tend to lean into being condescending and maybe
Yeah.
not even realize that's what they're doing. And with him it feels more, I don't know how to word it in a way that makes sense in my brain, but it's like he's not being condescending, but he's not being
He's talking to her like she's a person. He's being actually understanding and caring, but he's not
yes.
babying her. So,
Yes.
because like as an autistic person, it can really go one of two ways. You can get
Yes.
babied or you can get condescended to. So for him to just meet her in the middle and be like, "No, you're just a person. I'm just going to talk to you like you're a person," is so
Yes.
incredible. And it's also cool because you know he can be condescending. He's condescending to people all
Yes.
the fucking time. He's kind of an asshole. He's an asshole in season one. And
Yes.
he can be an asshole to patients and he can be like, I'm Dr. Langdon, I'm better than you. But with Mel, he's never once had that impulse. He just wants to
No.
be good for her. And it's so insane. Like in the script for the original break room scene, he can be good when he wants to. What if I died?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
dead.
I'm
R.I.P.
dead. R.I.P. Tumblr user Tvgremlin found dead on the ground. I was using that tag a lot when like the show was airing and all the stills were coming out. I'd be like, I'm dead. I died. Okay, back to my notes. Robbie tearing up. Robbie tearing up when they're about to do the C-section. Oh my God. Being like, please don't kill yourself, and he'll be like, I'll think about it, and then just leaving. Is so
Whoops.
sad, and also I was laughing. Like I would have to laugh to keep from crying with the amount of times
Yeah.
this character of the season would be like, Robbie, please don't die, and he'd be like, but what if I did though? And like just walk away. That's crazy.
Pretty much. That's how I feel about it too. Because like there were so many instances where everyone's like, "Well, you shouldn't do
You
what you're
shouldn't.
thinking about
Yeah.
doing." And he's like, "Okay," and then just leaves. He just walks away, and they're just like,
Yep.
"What?"
They
That
did
was
have the
like
same conversation 18 times this entire, like the last 4 episodes, which is Robbie in the same 4 conversations over and over and over and over and over again, which I kind of hated and also kind of loved because it felt
yes,
really real. It felt like that's what you would try to do. And I think he needed that many to get through his thick skull. But
yes.
also, at a certain point, I was like, can I see the other characters? I like my other characters. Where's Mohan?
Can I have a little bit of something else here? Or like let's not look at Duke anymore. Duke's
I don't
okay.
I don't care about Duke. That was my whole point last episode is I don't care about Duke.
I don't
I
he's
I don't hate him. I'm happy he's here. He should be here. I don't care.
yeah, he's kind of just there.
Yeah.
And he's there more than a lot more people that I do care about. And then I'm just like,
Like
ugh.
Mohan or Santos
Yes,
or Javati
yes.
or Whitaker or Mel.
Literally anyone else.
Yep, yep. Uh yeah, okay. And then finally we get to the Buzzy fireworks scene in the
Ah!
episode. I will be reading my notes word for word for this. They're watching fireworks together. God is real. The league is real. Belle sounds like she might cry. And then just kiss with a lot of S's.
Ah!
And then fireworks in the background as they fall in love, Mr. Darcy walk, etc. He is Mr. Darcy walking out to her. And I also love how he's like, he gets she's super far on the other side, like outside of the ambulance space, standing on those steps, looking up at the fireworks. He walks that way and is like, hey, have you seen Robbie? Girl, who are we
You
kidding?
tried. You tried.
And he's so pretending to like care about Robbie or care about anything else. And then he gets up to her and he's like, what if we just stood really close? What if we just put our faces really close together? Just, to be chill.
That opening shot where like they pan down through the hospital building with the red, white, and blue, and
Yep,
then you
yep,
just
yep.
slowly see him coming into frame and her like the back of her braid. I'm just like, ha,
The angels open the
ha.
sky opened up, the angels were singing, literally. I
Yes,
was watching it and I feel like the comparison to the Mr. Darcy walk is pretty
yes,
comparable because he really is coming out and being like, I am looking for her, I am explicitly coming to get my girl, I am not going home to my wife and kids, I'm coming to talk to Mel King.
yes.
The way that they're talking to each other killed me. Taylor did such a good job capturing that soft tone that she only gets with Langdon. And
I
we kind of
love
see a
it.
hint of it when he's treating her after she falls, where she goes, "You never let me down," and you get that kind of like softer modulation after he touches the back of her head with that big ass ring. And they are, sitting there and talking about it, and her coming out and her being like, "I've had better," and just not lying. She's completely honest. She's like, "I've had a really bad day." And he's like, yeah, I know you have. I'm sorry. And he's like, I've definitely had worse. And she's like, yeah. And then he talks about the cervical spine reconstruction,
Yes,
her being like putting it back, and her getting so excited really got me because you watch her face light up. Oh,
yes,
I also really love that Taylor does a really good job at doing this because I do this where Mel can go from really quiet to almost yelling in 5 seconds when her brain
yes.
switches topics, which is such an autistic thing. We are very bad at keeping our like voice chill.
Right.
Um and like I feel like I'm either mumbling or yelling. I know in between. Her doing that is so good and I loved it and I loved how he's just so happy to be there. He's just along for the ride and him being like, my
Yes.
hands are still shaking, girl.
You okay? Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
And the way they're smiling and then they look up and watch the fireworks, I really loved that he just stood there and watched the fireworks with her. I feel like a lot of this
I
season
love
was
that.
them getting into each other's mess of them seeking
Yes.
each other out when they know they've had a hard time, and Langdon going and finding Mel and saying like, thank you, I'm sorry I snapped at you, her little it's okay and how was your day, and just trying to be there for him and him just standing there and letting her
It's
figure it
so
out.
it's
Ugh.
so I don't even have the words. It's like it's past soulmates. Like I feel like
It's past soulmates. It's just, yeah.
they
Yep.
they have synced up to a level of like never before seen. Like there's a sense in the force if something's wrong
Exactly.
with Mel and he's
Exactly.
like, where's Mel?
Exactly. 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 He
Where is
knows
she?
he's looking for his girl.
Yes.
And oh my god, especially after I was just reflecting back on the season and my god. What the
There
hell?
was so much
We ate
good
so
stuff.
good. And I mean, the first episode, Dr. Langdon, her grabbing his bicep. I love the joke that he crosses his arms whenever she's around and hopes she'll grab his bicep again. And
Yes.
did you point this out to me? It might have been you, which is that she only touches the skin on his arm. Like she doesn't touch his sleeve or anything. She's just finger on skin contact the entire time. Like I am grabbing, like not even brushing his sleeve. Just like let me just grab your arm. And
And she's so sensitive to touch, and here she is.
yeah,
She could easily grabbed his the scrub top or anything
Yeah.
like that. But she goes for his arm.
She just is like, let
Girlfriend.
me just grab it. Grabbing the bicep, mind you. Oh my
Heyo.
god. Hello. Haven't seen you in 10 months. We spoke to each other once 10 months ago. Sold to Dr. Langdon. She hears his voice like a fucking sniper and turns her head and comes running. Which is a perfect
Girl.
parallel to the scene during the MCI, which really gets me.
I
And
love that. You're here.
you're here! And her and him being like, yeah, in the flesh, what you got? If you watch it, he's like threading like some crazy tube. And when he pulls that out, he then walks over to her and is like prepared. And like he finishes doing this complex procedure and then immediately comes running over and is like, tell me what's going on. Let's get it for runway ticket to the OR. And then he's like, nice catch, and like gives them the little like finger guns and she grins. It's that scene. I watched it and I had to like pause and take a break because it felt like, oh, this just clears everything that's ever happened. Actually,
It was like if I was to write down what I wanted in a finale scene without like a major like making out or whatever.
yeah. What could happen
Like
in canon?
yes, it would be that. The only thing
Yep,
I wish they would have done is just have her move closer like she wanted to touch his hand.
yep.
That would have been the cherry on top. But the rest of it, I was so seated. I was
I was
like,
gagged.
this was and as soon as it was over, had to rewind it, start
Yep.
it again.
Yep. I was like, I cannot wait for this to get gift. I can't wait to watch this scene a million times on my Tumblr dash for the rest of time. When you're watching a scene, you're like, this is going to be so important. I feel like I need to memorize it now. And it was so special to be like, I'm going to watch this for the first time. And when it was over, I was like, this just changed everything for me. It was that serious
It was
because
very
it was very serious. Or like it reminded me a lot of the feeling in the lead up to the Becca episodes where we knew things were going to get kind of crazy and we knew amazing stuff was going to happen, but we didn't know like how much of
how.
our hopes to get up. Little did we know, I can see why you like him. Hello. But we didn't
What?
know we didn't know what was going to happen or what was going to go down. And I really love, especially like, in the Kingdom Nation group, like the simmering vibe of the fandom where we're like waiting patiently for it to happen.
Yes,
Of like, okay, like what's it going to be like this week? Should we get excited? And all those posts people are like, oh my god, it's so over. Oh my god, we're so back. And then when it
yes.
finally happens and hits, you're like, ah. So it
And I
really just
think
got
that
me.
side tangent, I feel like there's always like an interview release where Patrick or Taylor say something like they say, which that's
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
You get your
Sure.
opinions. That's okay. And then
It's
like it's
fine if it's
always
wrong. It's cool.
yes, like but you're allowed to think it, whatever. And then it's always right before we get something juicy. So like you're high because you're getting the like from the promos and the stills and you're oh my god this looks so good, I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then like
Yep.
Wednesday they'll drop a quote and it's like y'all are dumb, bye. And then the actual episode Thursday and you're like huh, I know why you said that.
I can
I know
tell.
what
Or the day that the day we got stills on Monday for some fucking reason.
yes.
Because John Wells was like, I gotta drop the stills, I gotta drop the stills. Patrick's being crazy. Which I don't even think that that's really why that happened, but it makes me laugh so hard whenever I think about it because, I mean, come on. Come
Yeah,
on.
that's what it
Um,
looked like.
yeah. Oh, what's your opinion on the high five being cut? My opinion is thank God.
I am of the same opinion, because I feel like if you're gonna drop a high five in the middle of a scene like that, it would totally throw the vibe. Like
Yeah.
if you want to say platonic, yeah, that would scream to me, oh, we're gonna be platonic forever. But at the same time, I want to see it. Let's
Yeah.
release the high five cut, just because I
Give me the
want
high
to see
five cut. Give me the cut. I when those stills came out and I remember getting the DM like they cut that. I was like, okay. And she was like, but the scene's really buzzy and I was like, all right. But I was really hoping that they would like I just want some physical contact, God forbid.
it. Yes,
I feel like I too would have really loved if they high fived and then it just cuts and like Langdon's eyes are on her, a la the actual scene we got where
yes,
he's like staring at her. I mean, that was the leak that dropped Easter night. Oh my god,
yes.
what a fun night to be on Tumblr! I'll
That
never
was
forget.
wild.
I shout her out every time. Shout out Allison of Allison After Dark, who DM'd me 5 alarm emojis at 8 p.m. and was like, get online. I was like, what has happened? She was like, check my page, get online. And it was, I remember being like, did someone die? What's happened?
What has happened?
What's going
No,
on?
that
At the
was the
beach.
the day the day the Kingdon Earth stood still because we were like, oh
Literally,
my god,
there
what
was
is
like
that?
5 hours there where I was like, guys, things are happening. Like it was crazy. The day the fandom stood still. I also feel like that, and then I feel like the day the fandom in earnest was like really born was the day, at least like the fandom that we're in now, was
The
original
preview.
break room scene and the fucking
Oh,
original preview for season 4 season 2, not season
yeah.
4, god, hope we get season 4, season 2, where she grabs his arm and you're like, wait, what?
What?
I just won King $1 billion, what's going on, oh my god.
That's when
uh
I've dropped into the the Tumblr fandom, was
yes,
right
yes,
before then, because it
yes,
was like mid-December,
yes,
and I'd already done my second rewatch by that point.
yes.
Things were serious, and I was like lurking, and I seen that, and I was like,
Yep, 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 yep,
like,
yep,
and
yep.
I about like I felt like I had a stroke. I was like,
Her running up and grabbing his arm. And then that's when we were introduced to Meredith, who we love her. I want her on the
yeah,
pod. That's my hot take. I want her on the
Meredith,
pod. Meredith on the pod.
Meredith.
She would never come on this pod. She's kind of scared of us now.
Well, some people, just in general, I think that's just fandom, are just
Yeah,
odd
yeah,
and a little bit mean to her, which,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, they're mean
You
to her
get
on
your
Twitter,
opinion.
which I hate, because like we're not really mean to her in Kingdom Nation. I mean, some people are like
No,
she overhypes. My hot take is I don't think she overhypes, but I think that a lot of Kingdom scenes are slow burns, where the first time you watch
yes.
it you're like, what is this? And then the second time you watch it you're like, oh shit.
I think that I'm in so deep that like every scene is a good 10 out of 10. And then when I watch it, it just becomes more. Like there's
Yeah,
no scene that they have that I'm like, oh, that was bad.
yeah.
Like I'd say maybe I was like a little bit disappointed with the ambulance scene, in what is that, episode 9?
I can't, God, if
I
I
can't remember.
remember.
I know. I was initially disappointed with it just because I was really expecting like a heart to heart.
Yeah.
We're gonna, you're having a rough day, I want tears. I want tears. Give me some tears.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. There's tears
but
in the fireworks scene. She's welling
yeah,
up. She's on the verge of tears. Yeah.
I'm glad they had that, and I am such an ambulance bay truther that I was like, hell yeah, all the
it
scenes in the ambulance bay.
Yes. If they are in the ambulance bay or the break room, something is going to go down.
Yes,
I actually feel like my scene that kind of disappointed me the most, frankly, was the original treatment scene. I was so hyped for that. Just because,
yes,
like, my favorite fics always have that in that. Like, the fic that made me this insane about shipping them is Divine Pity in a Boat, who I bring it up every episode. I love that fic so much. Where
yes,
he sets her broken nose, and I remembered that so well, and for every reason it just wedged its way into my brain. I was like, that's it, that's it. An adult who can take care of her. This is why I love
yes,
Kingdon. I'm so down for it. But it felt almost too clinical the first time I watched it. I cannot remember who made this post, but someone made a post where they're like, Frank, fix your hair. Frank, we're going to gift this scene. Make it good. Like, no, he can't
yeah.
hear us. Like, I remember watching it and being like, I also didn't love the way he interrupted her when she's like, no, it's really fine. Like, I'm fine. You're a drug addict. I love that scene, but the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, really? That's it? Like,
Yeah.
that's it? Like, I was so excited, and it was really short, and it was in episode 2, and I was like, God, I really hope we get more. Little did I know.
Yes.
And then we find out later, like, him on the, he's, like, on the bed. When that came out, I was like, oh, never mind. I love it.
Yeah.
The
We're
scene's the best
good.
scene ever. We're
We're
good. We're
good.
fine.
Yeah.
I've forgiven you. Okay, then the next scene that comes up is them sitting around charting, and Mohun kinship fostering, once again, lol. I also really can't with how upset she is. Like, she's, like, so burnt out and so done, and Robbie's just like, whatever. And Robbie waking up Trinity is everything to me.
Yes. When he like shoots her with the glove.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's your daughter. Be nice to your daughter.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of the end of my notes. Oh yeah, primal scream therapy. I am so excited about. How do you feel about platonic Mentos? How do we feel about this? What's your
I
reading?
love it. I love it. I want Mel just to have a ton of friends. I think that she is just the best thing ever, and I want other people to see that and be nice to her.
Please be
Please.
nice to my girl. Please be nice to her. Oh my god.
Please.
There's that great Taylor Durden interview where she's like, what do you want for Mel in season 3? And she's like, friends. I just want her to have friends. And she says that a
Yes.
lot. And I'm like, yeah, I want that for her. I also love the implication of Layton having to be nice to Santos because they're friends. So important to me. And I feel like that's how they realize that they are actually two sides of the same coins. That the girl's so confusing for real. I love them being friends. I made a post about it, but Santos is not nice to Mel throughout the season, and she's not nice to her in
No.
season 1 either, and she kind of bullies her. But I don't think Santos is doing it on purpose, because once we kind of saw like the Whittaker scenes like towards the middle of the season where he's like, admit you like living with me, you can tell that Santos is a big shell, like a hard spiky shell you cannot crack. And Whittaker's kind of wedged his way in there, and Mel will probably wedge her way in there, but Santos
Oh
wants
yeah.
friends. Santos wants a life. She's just not able to be nice to people. She is mean because of everything that's happened to her. Her trauma didn't make her better. Her trauma traumatized her. And
Right.
for Santos, I know she wants to be friends with Mel. She's just doing a bad job at it. And so for her to finally like cut through the noise and be like, "Do you want to go get a drink and do karaoke?"
Yeah.
And do you, your sister want to come? Can she drive? Like, I don't care.
Oh,
I
that was
just,
so
yeah.
funny.
And
Could
then
she
they did
drive?
You Want to Know. Oh my God, that's a Kingdon Cathedral. Again,
That is
Allison After Dark did
so
some analysis in her
juicy.
doc. You got to go look at that too. I've been thinking about it for days since it aired, because I got that spoiler and I was like, my God, that's one of my all-time favorite songs. Who doesn't love that song?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, there's some great edits where it's like, hey, from both perspectives, because if you're imagining it from Abby's perspective, it's so juicy of like, would she have your baby? Like, would she do all these things I did for you, Frank? Would she stick with you through rehab?
Ooh.
Would I think
Ooh.
about, yeah, like, would she do all that? I think about Abby as like the scorned woman a lot, because it's interesting to imagine, this man who brought home a puppy you didn't want remembered everything that this woman who we met
Yes.
once 10 months ago needs and did, and cares about her and remembers her sister and remembers how to care for autistic people, and is like seeking her out and staying 3 hours late to hang out with her.
And
Meanwhile,
doesn't
you're at
understand
home
why you need a vacation.
and
Doesn't
doesn't understand, but
understand
he
what.
doesn't understand why you need a vacation and while you're at home with two small children. And then
Yeah.
also Tanner was born during COVID. High chance she was doing a lot of solo parenting. She's done a lot of solo parenting
She's Abby, girl.
for
Get up.
yourself. Get
Get
up,
up,
get
girl.
up, get up, girl. I want to share. I want to drink a frozen marg with Abby Langdon so bad. I want to go to a Chili's
Oh
and
my
just drink a frozen
gosh.
marg with Abby Langdon.
Triple dipper with
Triple
Abby
dipper with Abby
Langdon.
Langdon.
Just
Oh my God.
go.
Yeah. I also was like kind of into it, where I was like, hell yeah, for the Mentos girlies, because I know someone in IRL who really likes Mel and Santos together, and I was like, I'm so happy for you guys, because we ate
Yes.
so good this season. It almost feels like we should share the wealth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I have no qualms about it. Like,
yeah,
go for it. Heck yeah. I just not necessarily about Mentos in general. I just hate when you get on like the Kingdon tag and then someone's like, "Oh, Mel's a lesbian. What are y'all
yeah.
doing here?" I'm
Don't
like,
tag.
"Well,
Why are we
don't
tagging
do
it
that.
Kingdon? Like,
Don't
you
do
could talk.
that."
I love that for you. Please stop
Yeah,
tagging it Kingdon. I will block people who do that. I will
I do too.
unironically go on there, and if someone's like, I just like don't see Kingdon as a relationship. Like, I don't really get why people ship it, and then they're tagging it Kingdon. Get out of here, and I'll just block them. I'll be like,
Blocked.
I don't care.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not.
Same.
I actually don't want to interact with you. Sorry, but they can
You're
do
not
that.
gonna
I'm
ruin
just
my
gonna block
vibe.
you. I'm
Yes.
also not gonna like respond to you and be like, why are you doing this? I'm just gonna be like, okay, bye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Um
Yes.
when Langdon going up, this is embarrassing to admit, when Langdon was walking onto that floor, I was like, is this the abandoned floor that Whittaker had lived in? Is he homeless? Did he get divorced? Was this a review?
Langdon's gonna live in the abandoned
In the abandoned
hotel
hospital,
room.
sleeping on an air mattress in the abandoned hospital, and I was like, girl, I felt like with some of those posts where it's like Baby Jane Doe actually time traveled. It felt like that. Where I was like laughing. He may be suffering, but he's actually the Haas man. The entire world in street clothes. That's Mel's boyfriend. We got both girlfriend Mel and boyfriend Langdon. Whenever he's in the street clothes, I'm like, that's boyfriend Langdon. That's my guy. I love him so
He's
much.
so pretty, and she is everything. Especially when Santos took her hair down. Oh,
Oh my god. Did you see it, one of the Tumblr posts that was like, I read too many fanfics. I kept waiting for them to pan to Langdon and Garcia in the crowd. He's just so hot. I also really can't with him being sad about the waitress losing her leg, because he didn't do anything wrong.
I
Like,
know. That was so
and
hard.
it was so hard. And it was the fact that we get that scene of Dana talking to Robbie, and Dana being like, hey, if you think he messed up, tell him. And he'd be like, no, he didn't mess up. She's like, you would have done the exact same thing. And he was being kind of cautious, and then obviously by the end of the season he has his group back, thanks to Mel. Not thanks to Robbie, thanks to Mel. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you know when he said like when. Sorry, let me go on a
No,
slightly
yes,
off
please. Yes, please.
tangent.
Yes, please. Yes,
Okay,
please.
when he's talking to Robbie at the end, when obviously he reads them to filth, but
Yes.
he there was something where he was like, "Oh, that's how you teach now."
Yeah.
What happened if he had paralyzed him? If he would have paralyzed him, Robbie would have never let him live it down, and
Nope,
that
he
is
would have never let him
the
back in
truth.
the ER. He would have probably like reported
No,
them out of anger. He would have been like, you paralyzed him. You're reckless. You're an addict. Like, he would have blown up on him. And
yes,
instead he did it, and they all were like, good job.
yeah. There was a big unspoken threat as he was doing it, and he stayed so calm under pressure. And he was so great. I'm
He was
so
so
glad
great.
that
He
went
did
up
such a
down.
good job.
I'm
I was
so
so happy when it went that way. And then he walks out, him grinning and just like, this is why I'm
yes.
here. And there are
And
some scenes, especially when Dana comes up and is like, Langdon, honey, I don't know. There's some scenes where you're like, you look at him and I'm like, that's like a happy little boy who's doing what he's always wanted to
he's
do.
so cute.
And I love him so much. Uh,
So cute patootie.
He's my favorite. I love him. He's also a grown man.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid of being accused of being a Langdon boy mom, but he has flaws. I swear he has flaws. I love his flaws too. I
Mhm.
also shout out to another mutual, Whitaker's intern, who just did a post, which was like,
Yes.
when Mel's like, "Can you teach me how to do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, totally. I just, I hope you never have to use it." And she's like, "Yeah." And then they replied, "R3 just asked me to touch her neck." Hashtag what that mean? Where it's like, I also, how would he like get like a dummy, or the better option, why don't you come over to my apartment, lie on my couch, and I teach you how to do it by you touching my neck? Anyway, like, how do you
Can you
teach someone how to
imagine?
do that? I can't.
Okay. He's
Um,
just laying there and looking up at her, and she would just be like stress
she's just
sweating.
blushing with her hair's down. She's blushing. I can't. I'm building
Ah!
too cathedrals are being built in my head. Okay, back to the plot. The scene with Whitaker and Amy. I hate that scene so much, but I also love that scene. I have like a lot of thoughts about it. The Huckle Robbie shippers are doing better analysis about it than I ever could, but I found it really silly and funny. Like on a baseline level, boy, you're 27. Why are you a stepfather? Why are you driving the
Right.
car? Why are you putting on funk music as soon as you get in the car? What's going on?
It was
But
very
then
domestic, wasn't it? It was
very
just felt
domestic.
very. There was definitely some undertones, which I didn't hate it when I watched it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. But then when I think about it, I agree with you because I'm like,
You
that is
stole this
such a.
guy's life.
This is a
He died and you stole his life. What's going on?
tricky situation
Yeah.
because like that baby didn't know his dad.
No.
He knows you. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, he does. It
uh,
felt so, it was like so comical. I was like
yes.
laughing. I was, what is this? We also like never see them outside of the ER, so I feel like the finale is always kind of special because you like see everyone in their street clothes and you see them leaving and you see them not in the
Mhm.
pit, and it can feel like I really enjoy it. But
I
it
love
was,
it.
yeah, it was really getting me where I was the season where Mel and Langdon leave together, the carpool. I can
Yes.
I'm projecting. It's going to happen one day. I would also like I am down. Do I think they're going to go canon? No. Am I, which is really funny as a person who has a podcast about them. Like I
You
dedicate
know
so much
what?
time. I don't think they're going to canon.
I'll be controversial. I think they will. I think they're going to be
Ooh,
canon. I
hell
don't.
yeah.
I don't. I don't know. Why do I think that? Maybe I'm just delusional. But I really feel it in my little bones. I'm like, this is it. It's
This is
gonna
it.
work out, guys. It's
I
gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I was talking with someone, so I come from the Sid Carmi fandom. I spent so much time there. I never thought Sid and Carmi would go canon. I remember when I started watching the show, it was like well after the time for that delusion had passed,
Mhm.
and I'm still continually hurt by the fact that they aren't going to go canon when it's low-key the way to save the show at this point. And I came to Kingdon like they're not going to go canon. I feel like for a little bit in season 1 I was like maybe. But as time has gone on I've been like no. And then he treated Becca and I was like
Wait, 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 wait,
wait. And
wait,
he's
wait,
not
wait.
wearing his ring? Wait, hang on, wait, briefly. And that I think I can tell she likes you. I think there's also definitely been conversations that feel like maybe Mel will have a crush. That could definitely be a thing. If he
Mhm.
rejects her on screen, I'll die. But
They
I
better not.
they better not. They better not be like,
I
let's
would
just stay
be
platonic.
so
I would be
pissed.
devastated. It would be devastating. I feel like if we were ever to go canon, it would not be like an on-screen kiss or anything like that. I think it would be a both of them have been written off the show and they are married off screen. Like
Oh yeah,
Mel and Langdon, are you going to Mel and Langdon's wedding this? Like some Dr. Collins is adopting a baby in Portland, Oregon energy that
yeah,
we're not privy to, a la ER. Like that's how George Clooney and his wife are on ER, where they're like, oh, they got married, they have twins, but like you never see George Clooney anymore. I could definitely see that happening,
yeah.
but I don't think
I
we're
would
ever gonna get a kiss or anything.
I would be okay with that, I think. I don't think I would love because HBO is HBO. You could
You can
really
do
get
whatever you want on
crazy.
there. You can do whatever you
You could
want.
really get crazy. Like just lay it on her.
Yeah.
But I don't think that'll happen either. I think the most I would love to see a hug.
Yes.
Just
Oh God.
a
Oh,
hug or like
I think a hug
a
is happening
forehead
in season
kiss.
3. Dude, a
A forehead
forehead
kiss?
kiss?
Yes.
We could live forever off a forehead kiss.
I
I feel
know.
that could
Delicious.
be delicious. Or even like Mulder and Scully, where we had a baby together, but we're still friends. Um,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
I love Mulder and Scully. They are my like Kingdon #1 cathedral. Like
Yes.
Mulder and
Yes.
Scully,
Yes.
everything about it, slow
Yes.
burn,
Yes. It's the
platonic.
slowest burn. No,
It's
no burn's ever
ridiculous.
been slower.
Yes. Well, let's make Kingdon be a little bit faster, just
Yes,
a little
please. Yes,
bit.
please. Yes, please. Especially because I'm like afraid they're gonna get rid of the show.
I'm
Yeah,
nervous.
Robbie being like, I thought I'd be married with 2 kids in college by now is so iconic because King, what stopped you? Sorry, just like you're bad with women. I feel
Whoops.
like sometimes, like when a man's like, God, I wish I was married. Robbie, you are played by Noah Wiley, and you are an attending in an ER. You make good money and are hot. You could be married if you want to be. You're just not a good partner.
Right.
Sorry. Um,
He's married to the job. That's what he
he's married.
is.
He is married. He's married to the job. He's married to Abbott.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
That's his emergency contact.
It's his emergency contact. That's crazy. God, all the fics were. Who's Mel's emergency contact? Frank.
We
Who's Frank's
know.
emergency contact? Mel. I feel like after this day, Mel just went home and was like, my emergency contact is now. Because who is it? She doesn't have anybody. That freaking scene
No.
after she's talking to Becca where he. Oh my
She wouldn't
god.
want. She wouldn't ever want it to be Becca either. Because she wouldn't want to
No.
like.
It also, like, I don't think could be Becca.
No.
I don't think Becca drives. Like, she's probably not
No.
able to.
No.
I'm now just thinking of the scene after when she's kind of freaking out about Becca and the deposition. And she comes back from her deposition, and Robbie's like, how'd it go? And then he asks, hey, who do you have to talk to when things get hard? And she goes, well, no one. And then he just walks away from her.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Ridiculous.
It's the worst scene in the whole season. It made me so angry. I'm still so sad about it. Okay, losing my leg, losing my wife, Abbott being a widower. That got confirmed this episode, and then also Mel being an orphan last episode. They really just like shoved those out last minute. They were like,
Right. They're like, hey, wait.
wait, hang on, under the wire.
Hey,
Let's make
hey,
this canon. I really love how he was like losing my leg, losing my wife. Just listing off the things. Oh, that scene's great though. I also love him being like, how can you not love this place when they come in or like the guy shot his face off
Oof.
and talking about, I don't know, it felt very true to my experience as a healthcare worker of being like, yeah, how can you not love this place? Because you hate it so much. It's so
Yes.
hard and so awful and you see all these terrible things.
But then you do so good.
And then you do something awesome and you're like, I could never have another job. I always feel that way. The last thing we have to talk about is I just have some like final notes, which is a lot of me being like, Rabbit is real because Rabbit is his emergency contract. Alashimi is so hot. The Alashimi
Oh my
and
gosh.
oh my
She's
god,
ridiculous.
T. It was the power of tank tops. Thank you, Pit Costume Crew. Um, we
Really
thank you
though.
for your service. We thank you for your service. The Alashimi Robbie scene I loved because I loved watching Robbie get yelled at. It was
Yes.
special and important to me. I love
Let's let
Robbie,
everyone yell at him.
but he should get yelled at a little. I loved her being like, shut up. I loved her being like, you don't care. You're not actually caring. I've seen some really good posts and analysis about her as like a disabled woman and dealing with a chronic condition and how upsetting it is to know you have to lose your autonomy for your health and safety and the health and safety of others when things get
Yes.
worse. Especially with my chronic pain, can definitely feel that where if I'm in a pain flare and I suddenly can't do a lot of the things I like to do, like I can't walk very
Mhm.
well, or I'm like stagger around my house, or just am grumpy, or even just like really struggling to focus at work because I'm in a lot of pain, it's
Yeah.
so difficult where it's like you have to give up this thing because your body's like betraying you. So
Right.
that was so well done and so well acted. Alashimi, I love you forever. I really hope she comes back
Yes.
next year. I want to see her more. I think it'll be like Robbie coming back from sabbatical. So we'll see her, thank God, because I love her.
Yes.
Um,
I think I read that she's supposed to be back.
Thank God. Good.
I could be wrong, but I think that I read that.
Good.
So
I feel like I've read that too. Maybe I'm just hallucinating because I've read so many
I
interviews at this
know.
point.
Then I'm like, did I actually read that or am I crazy?
I was so worried that Langton would be the one who took Whitaker's badge and that he was using it to relapse. I was so afraid. I was like, don't
Oh
do that,
gosh.
don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I was like too afraid to even say it. I was so scared. And then it being
I
Digby who took it, I was so happy.
Yes, I had seen that on TikTok and oh my God, it made me so mad because I was like, if they did that, I would be so beyond pissed. Because why would he, after being clean all this time, your first day back, go steal someone else's badge to, oh my gosh, just the thought of it, if I think about it too much, I get mad again. Because I'm
It
like,
like makes me sick to
why?
my stomach. I was so afraid and
Yes.
I was so happy it wasn't. The scene of them all up on the roof watching the fireworks, Mel
Uh,
Trinity being the only one drinking an alcoholic beverage was so real. She was like, I have to drink. Like she's like, I've had a day.
it,
Dana and Perla snuggling. I
oh
couldn't.
my
It was so good. It
gosh.
was
It
so
was so, it
good.
was so sad though.
I
Perla,
know. Poor
I love
Perla.
you.
I saw someone say she was probably thinking about Louis. because Louis said he loved the
Oh,
fireworks, and Pearl and Louis were close, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore,
why
guys.
would you why would you say that on my internet?
On
Second,
Al Gore's internet, why would you come on here and say something so sad and so beautiful? Like, I
I
can't.
know.
And then obviously the Langdon and Robbie scene, which was incredible. It was so good.
Yes,
Um,
sorry, I skipped ahead there, but
no, you're
yes,
good. I love Robbie and Langdon so much. I love their dynamic too. I love how that's his dad.
yes.
That's daddy.
There's
Sorry, Robbie.
that's Dad.
That's
Hello.
dad. Hello. I know Dada. Him him out here just like I don't know, I couldn't get over him being like, I saw guys like you in rehab. And I also really loved him being like, I've done everything right. And you still don't have it in your heart to forgive me.
He ate him up and chewed him out, and then not chewed him out, spit him out.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yes, he was just really over it. And even just back to what we said about the Kingdon scene, he's like, "Oh, have you seen Robbie?" He had no intentions of talking to Robbie.
No, of course not.
Whatever.
He was like, do you want to do this conversation now? And I love Langdon being like, I don't actually want to talk to you. I want to go home. I want to leave.
Mm,
Also, Robbie was not going to be in the ambulance bay. What are we
no,
doing? Oh my god!
come,
And
come
you wanted to
on.
show her that you get so nervous that your hands are shaking. God forbid. I
Hello.
hello, the
Mm.
Robbie and Baby Jane Doe scene killed me. It killed
Oh,
me.
it's so tough.
It was so tough. It was so touching too. It was the way that they framed it so the sun in Peds was like the little halo on his head. I love that we end every season in Peds.
Beautiful.
It was so beautiful. His little speech to the baby about how, I was abandoned by my mom too when I was 8. Like, I know what you're feeling. I understand what's going on for you. And him kind of being like, you have a rough start, but you have so many beautiful life moments ahead of you. You have so many people to meet. And that kind of
Uh,
paralleling back to, I feel like both Dana and Robbie's arc, which is just how much time they spend in the ED, and Robbie being like, I've done everything that has mattered to me. All the most important and special things I've done in my life have been in this room. But
right,
who am I outside of here? But what else do I have to do? And
right.
I was just imagining, baby Jane Doe, and she does have so much beauty ahead of her.
Yeah.
Because she's also not,
She's
experiencing the
very
trauma the way
small.
she's very small. She's really little. Like, but as she grows up,
She
she'll
doesn't know what's going
experience that
on.
trauma and struggle and have a hard
Yeah.
time. But she will also have
Right.
great friends, and she'll get her heart broken, and she'll move to a new
Oh,
city where she doesn't know anybody, and she'll have this big whole life outside of those four walls. And Robbie looking at her and being like, "There's so much good in this world, and it's gonna outweigh the bad," really got me. It was
yes.
such a good scene. It was such a good way to end it too.
I love that. I will be the first to say, like, I'm not a Robbie hater by any means.
No.
There was a lot of scenes of him, especially the last few episodes. And I would say, without a doubt, that scene with Baby Jane Doe and Pete was by far my favorite from him. I felt like it was perfect. It hit all the right notes. It was sweet without being like, hey,
Yeah.
drama. Yeah,
Yep,
like here,
exactly. It
this
felt
is
really humanizing.
yes, that's it. It's
Yeah.
like, he needed that because
He
like
needed that.
he
Yeah.
needed that. He needed that because, all the other conversations he had were, Dana, Abbott, Langdon. These are people who were saying things to him, but not really necessarily listening to what he was saying. And here
Yeah.
you just had this little vessel of innocence and you
Yeah.
just
Who he
letting it
saw
go.
himself in, who he could connect to, and the fact that now I'm thinking about, which just destroys me, that Robbie and Dana have probably been working together. Dana's been there for what, like 30, 40 years, 20 years, 30 years? Like, she's been there
I think
forever.
yeah, I
Because
think 30.
she was like, I volunteered here in high school. Like, Dana, she was born in that hospital. Dana was like, she was raised
Right.
in the darkness. Like,
Yes.
she comes from this. And her talking to Whitaker about that and being like, I love helping people. I love being there for people on their hard days. And that her and Robbie have, Robbie didn't do his residency there, but he's been attending there for a long, long time. Him and
Yes.
Robbie she's known Robbie for a long, long, long time. And
Yes.
she's like, I'm not your mom. And she's like, yeah, I had one. She left.
Like
And her being
what?
like, what?
She
And
was
him being like,
gagged.
it's gagged. And her being like, it was a long time ago. That killed me too. Because I just really couldn't get over him talking to that baby and being like, I got you. I don't know, it just felt like we don't really know what's going to happen to Robbie. I do agree with that criticism, which is the whole time you're like, what's going to happen to Robbie after this shift? And then the season ends and you don't know what happened to Robbie after the shift.
Right. You're like,
We're
oh
like,
wait.
you should have picked a different question for the shift, you guys. But it was still so good. Okay, and then the final scene is the karaoke scene. So after our Robbie
Hello.
thoughts, we got karaoke.
Yeah. It's like, hey, let's show from one drastic extreme to the other.
To
Like,
the
oh,
other.
you're sad? Let's get crazy.
Yeah, exactly. You're depressed in a way that no one has ever been depressed before. Okay, time to watch Mel and Santos sing "You Oughta Know" by Alanis Morissette. Also, it's really important to me that Santos changed.
I know.
She just had
Her
those.
outfits.
She had this like she had like a nasty gal top in her backpack. Like what? It's so
Girl,
important to me.
okay.
I love someone being like,
Okay.
oh, she thought she was gonna watch Fireworks with Garcia, so she wanted to look hot. So important to me. So
Yes.
good.
She had packed that outfit. She was listen, she's like, if I pack this, I'm wearing it and I don't
Yep.
give a who
Yep.
sees
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yep. And
Garcia's missing out.
Garcia is missing out. If my situationship, who I worked with, was like rejecting me and defending her guy friend who yelled at me on my first ever day as being a doctor, and it was the
Yeah.
4th of July and everything was failing, and I had a new attending, and the attending I love is like very suicidal, I too would need to get like I would.
Yeah.
Trinity Santos was frankly too nice this season. Her life sucked. I was I love Trinity so much, and I have a lot of sympathy for her. And other than when she's like mean to
Yeah.
Mel, when she's mean to Mel, I don't like
Yeah.
her. But every other time, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I kind of love that she yelled at Langdon. I love that she was unreasonable with her requests. I was like, yeah, not everyone's gonna forgive you, Langdon. You need to accept this. You did a bad thing.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. It's just, oh my goodness, there's so much like nuance and just between even Santos and Langdon together. I can't wait to see how their dynamic will be in season 3, especially including Mel.
Yeah.
Because that's, it's just, ooh, I'm so glad they did that because obviously we want Mel to have more friends.
Yes.
And we already know BFF Langdon.
Yes.
Um, so what happens when you get the three of them together? Is there animosity still between Santos and Langdon? Is Mel gonna mediate, or is Mel just not gonna, care? And she's just like, okay, y'all have
I
the
feel like
deal.
she's like, I hang out with you separately. I am completely
Yes.
obsessed with the idea of Mel being like, yeah, I've started seeing this new guy, and Santos being like, melatonin, who is it? And her not telling him and just being like, yeah, Mel's a boyfriend, and then finding out it's Langton and being like, girl, no!
She would be so like,
Gagged.
I don't,
Gagged.
yeah, I was gonna say beyond gagged. Like she
Beyond
would
gagged.
just be like, Mel, what?
Okay, now it's time for asks.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go in the order in which they arrive. I'm gonna give my little spiel first. If you want your thoughts featured on the Kingdon Nation podcast, all you have to do is send my Tumblr at Tvgremlin and ask. You can also DM me, but it's a little bit easier if you send an ask because you can just send the long wall of text and I'll have it. And you need to start the ask with "for the pod" or something like "for the pod." It doesn't have to be "for the pod." And it can be whatever you want, just has to be related to Kingdon or the Kingdon Radio Hour podcast. That's it. That's my
Yeah.
little spiel. So please send stuff in, because I can't just yap forever. That's a lie, I could totally yap forever.
Yeah,
Okay, this
same.
is this is from Tumblr user at Bewitching Omen. And
Hi.
hers, yay, hi, we love you. I'm gonna read it and then
Yay.
we'll talk about it. For the pod, apologies for the vastness of this. They have never apologized for the vastness of anything. Okay,
Please.
so the question this week was like, how'd you get into Kingdon? What got you into Kingdon? And so she said, I began watching The Pit last month and I was immediately struck by how Mel and Langdon quickly build up a good rapport between each other. They can sense when the other is feeling stressed, upset about something. They knew each other for a short amount of time before Langdon's 10 months in rehab, and yet they have that Captain Scurvy inside joke. OMG. The scenes from
Yes.
season 1, episode 7, 1 p.m., involving the autistic patient's Terrence show the influence Mel has on Langdon. At first, Langdon is dismissive of Terrence until Mel's interaction. The look of pure awe on his face is telling. Like he tells her later
Mm-hmm.
on, she has taught him a couple of things. Fast forward to when he treats Becca, and his interaction with her is vastly different to his interaction with Terrence. Yes, she is Mel's sister, but I also think it's him being more aware of how to respectfully treat autistic patients, and that is thanks to Mel. I think that
Mm-hmm.
Kingdon will be kind of a slow burn. Maybe at the end of season 2 or the start of season 3, he'll reveal to her that he is divorced and he feels alone, and she'll reveal how she feels alone because Becca is with Adam, and she doesn't know what to do with herself, and that sparks something, an understanding of kindred
Yeah.
spirits. Bewitching Omen, I love so much that you're talking about Terrence, because obviously Terrence I feel like is like the
Mm-hmm.
patient that brings it all together. It's how we get the original ambulance base scene. That's what led to the Becca scenes. Like, he is,
Yes.
little does he know, architect of Kingdon. Architect of Kingdon. Like, he came together.
Yes.
I also really love him saying, will you tell Mel she's a good doctor, and how big Langdon smiles when he says that. Like, yeah, I will.
That wasn't even a compliment for him, but he took it like one.
He's just so excited. He's like, yeah, she's great, isn't she? And that also leads to the original break room scene of him being able to be like, yeah, you're great. You're a great doctor. You totally got this. You know what you're doing. I also love that you are fresh into Kingdom and are already here. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you found us. We're so happy to have you.
Yay!
And as for the season 2, Becca with Adam, Langdon, this was sent before the finale aired. Becca, her being bummed that Becca's with her boyfriend, and the way she sounds kind of resigned and sad about it, and Langdon being like, yeah, and just like being there for her in that moment and sitting with her while she admits to being lonely really got me. Because,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. And Langdon is lonely whether he admits it or not. I was alone with my thoughts for 10 months doesn't scream. I spent a lot of time talking to my wife, who I was with, and presumably like live with and spend a lot of time with.
I believe full with all my heart that man is on a couch.
He's sleeping on a couch. He's sleeping on it in the guest bedroom.
Yes, he is not. That relationship is not good. And maybe it is. Maybe I'm reading things wrong, but my vibe is, well, my truth is that man is on that couch. And like, if he doesn't have an apartment, he's looking for one,
I know. Also, what could you be reading wrong? The entire season was a billboard that says Langdon has a bad marriage. He yells, my wife threatened to divorce me. I almost lost my children. I say someone who's never been married, but like, hello? Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be that way.
I don't think it's supposed to be that way. He's sleeping on a guest bed. He's sleeping on an air mattress, which cannot be good for his back. I feel like Mel's gonna find that out and be like, but Frank, you're back!
No, not the back.
Not the back! Okay. Alright, this is from, next ask is from Tumblr user Jawflow. Starts with, for the pod, got any season 3 predictions for Kingdon's storyline? I'm thinking Mel would be in the middle of a Santa's Langdon beef. I also kind of wish they addressed the Langdon marriage situation. Thank you for starting a Kingdon podcast. Thank you for listening, and thank you for submitting. Okay.
Love that question.
I love this question. I'm obsessed. My predictions, I'm going to give like predictions and then dreams. My dreams, to start the dreams, I want a hug. I want established relationship Kingdon. I want them talking about doing stuff outside of work. I want carpooling. I want them eating lunch together. I want them sharing a protein bar. I just want them to be besties for the resties. When it comes to my actual predictions, I think that there's definitely going to be like that kind of the more dynamic they have while they're working together in season 1, but picked up more of like they're working together a lot. They're on a lot of cases together. They have a fun dynamic. They're chatting. Mm-hmm. I can definitely imagine maybe they're talking about more personal stuff. Hey, I had a lot of fun with you and Becca on Sunday. Definitely could see that.
Yes.
I definitely think there's going to be some in the middle of like her in the middle of Langdon and Santos's beef. I could definitely see her being like, Trinity, you should forgive him. I think that Mel is going to be a Langdon first girl. She loves that man down. He was the first person to really understand her. He's her first best friend. They need each other more desperately than romantically. This is her core connection, and it's his core connection on the show. It is what softens each other and makes them human and like fleshes out their character. So I could definitely see her playing into that. I think that Langdon will be divorced. He better be divorced. If he's not divorced, I want to meet Abby. I want Abby to come into the hospital and I want to meet her. Or I want a photo of her, or I want to meet the kids. I actually think that like it would be a very interesting incident, especially if they decide to like write Langdon off, to have Abby come in with one of the children and him kind of freaking out, and then we can see Mel supporting him in parallel to the Becca scenes, because this season
I would love that.
I would think that that'd be really good. So that's kind of my prediction. I also am predicting that they will reveal something so deeply unhinged and romantic and insane that it will make our brains explode, just like they did in season 1 and in season 2. Those are my predictions.
I love it. Okay, let me start. I think overall, let me just do with the general season 3 prediction. They're saying that season 3 is set in November, early November. And when they mentioned it, I think Noah Wiley said, oh, it's going to be explosive. So I think, one, we're going to get some bad weather.
Yes.
So if you catch my drift here.
I'm catching all of the drifts. Yes. Yes.
You're catching my drifts. We're going to be snow in at the hospital, and we're going to get people in all on-call rooms. Yes. And I would love love, 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 love if we could get them in an on-call room. And then it doesn't even have to be like there doesn't have to be any physical contact or anything. Just the tension alone in that room, I think we would set the hospital on fire. It
No,
would be bonkers.
I am picturing them laying side by side, no contact, mind you,
Yeah.
on a bed talking about their shift in the dark. Langdon reveals he's divorced. It is episode 12. Like, they're like, oh, you guys should
Oh,
try to get some sleep before you drive home. Why don't you use the on call rooms? And they're laying there together, not touching at all. And I think that that would actually be a really good. Like, maybe we even
yes.
have like Whitaker and Santos also have a scene like that of like, okay, we're paralleling them with the actual besties of the pit, and we get them kind of opening up
Yes.
about it. Maybe they're talking about, something like that, from off screen. I think we're definitely going to get like a we hung out off screen situation. Um
Yes.
More inside jokes, more bits. I am predicting Dana being like, "Yeah, you mean the Wonderkins of the ER?" And it's not like
Yes.
someone's going to comment on their relationship. It better be Garcia or I'll die.
Yes.
It's like Dana or
ER
Garcia.
Barbie and Ken.
Yes,
ER
yes.
Barbie and Ken. Let's
You're Barbie
go,
and Ken, make
Garcia.
it canon, make it canon, make it canon.
Come on,
You're
Garcia.
Garcia lock in. But
Yes.
no, I completely agree. I think especially with bad weather being like the inciting incident or like the big thing that
Mm,
happens, that would be so so good.
that'd be
Um
so juicy.
It'd be so juicy. It'd be so juicy. Also, like we glean things about the characters' personal lives from
Mm,
the patients they treat. Langdon almost exclusively treated people in bad marriages or cut off wedding rings. Or Robbie one day are gonna make a great ex-husband. Hard cut to Langdon, who then immediately starts
yes.
talking about his marriage. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I think that we're gonna get a divorce reveal.
I think I would not be surprised. And if it's not a divorce, at least separation. I feel like there's definitely something there. And we're like, I'm sure, like, wouldn't that be something if that was like the last line of season three?
Or
Like,
or
what? Oh my God.
Yep. Or Langdon even opening up cut from that, and then it cuts to them waking up, like they like are coming out, like rubbing their eyes like an hour later, and you're like, God, I wonder what happened in there. Why is your braid messed up, Mel? Braidgate part two.
Oh my gosh. That would be so great. I would die. Die dead.
I would love if Mel also got flirted with in season three.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
I'm one of those people that I've seen this, and I'm sure like people are going to be like, Paige, why? And I'm be like, listen, here, just walk with me. The idea of Shin and Mel, and not even like it doesn't even have to be super flirty. Like he just brings her a boba with his Dunkin',
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
and then Langdon is like, what is this?
And it's like she's my
What?
I'm her favorite guy. Jealous Frank season three. Jealous Frank season three. Oh,
Yes.
also my other prediction, she's gonna call him Frank.
Yes, please. I was really expecting that in the scene in the finale. I was like,
Yeah.
you can call me Frank. And then her being like, ha, 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 okay, Frank.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I was
Yep.
really expecting that. So I was like, not let down, but I was like, oh man,
Or
there's
even
always next
just
time.
her calling him Langdon, because she calls him Dr. Langdon exclusively. She calls other people by their first names, but she'll be like,
Yes.
no, Dr. Langdon. She never once calls him Langdon. And I know that Patrick Paul has said that he doesn't like that he's named Frank and like wants and is like, no, he doesn't go by Frank, he goes by Langdon in his everyday life. So I can imagine that we'll have her calling him Langdon. But it would fucking kill me if there was like a scene where he's like, I don't know, trying to treat his wife and children, and then Mel has to go Frank and like pull him out of the room. Our final ask for the pod is from Allison After Dark, lovely friend of the show, Allison, who
Woo, woo,
contributed to
woo,
last
woo.
week's episode and is all where I'm always in her DMs bothering her. We love her so much. That's our
Yay,
girl. We love
Allison.
you, Allison. Sent her ass. She sent a big old ass. Thank God. I love. And you send me a novel.
Yeah,
Please know I love you forever with my whole heart. So I
we
feel
love
everything. We
it.
love it so much. So she started hers with, first of all, I just want to say thank you. It's been so, so nice getting to know you through this fandom. Same girl, love you. You are so you're
Yay.
such a kind and genuine person. I try. And I've done so much for
Oh,
this space. It's so nice to be in a fandom with someone like you who's dedicated and so creative. What if I cried? What if I cried
Allison.
forever? Oh my God, we love you so much.
This
Aww.
is so sweet,
Okay.
Allison.
I love you so much. All right, it's Allison. Most of you know me as Allison After Dark on Tumblr and AO3. Go read her fanfic. Go read all of our fanfic. Go give us
Yeah.
kudos, please. Let me
Hey.
plug it.
Yeah.
Some of you may know me through my Kingdon Through Song Lyrics website, which is amazing, that I recently
Yes.
started. I'll be making a lot of written contributions to Angel's Pod, so expect to hear from me a lot. I'm so excited that
Yay.
Angel has given us the opportunity to talk about Kingdon on the pod. Everyone say thank you, Angel. Oh,
Yay. Thank you, Angel.
you're welcome. Oh my God,
Oh.
what if I giggled because I'm embarrassed? Oh my God, thank you guys. I want to talk with my friends. That's basically it. All right, I'll start with my story of how I became obsessed with these two hot doctors, girl real. When season
Yeah.
1 first started coming out, my parents were the one to start watching it first. Thank you, Allison's parents.
Yay,
Week after
Allison's
week, they were telling me
parents.
to watch. I was hesitant at first because I'm not one for medical dramas, but eventually I relented and
Same.
decided to start watching. Same, I can't even watch Grey's.
Yeah.
Week after week, they were telling me to watch. I was hesitant at first because I'm not one for medical dramas, but eventually I relented and decided to start watching. I remember watching and thinking, "Aw, these two are cute," but I unfortunately never sought out any fandom content about the show or Kingdon as a ship. Fast forward to January this year, and I'd honestly completely forgotten that I was waiting for season 2 to come out. By the time I remembered, episode 1 and 2 had already come out, so I quickly caught up. I was on TikTok one day and saw my first Kingdon edit. I wish I could remember what edit it was, but specifically, but unfortunately I cannot. So I watched one edit and then another and another and more until I was absolutely obsessed. Real.
Yes.
I think it was the music tied to these edits that really solidified it for me. Music is a special interest of mine. I've always been something that has deeply affected me emotionally and physically. I was in chorus and band all throughout school, played the clarinet, bass clarinet, contrabass clarinet, and continue to play to this day. That's so cool! Oh my god!
Allison.
Allison, we
Allison's
love
Wonder
you!
Woman.
Damn! Damn, you're doing all of this on top of, like, keeping the fandom afloat. Damn, girl. Wow.
You busy.
Busy. People in my life know that if I'm able, my headphones are on. Same. Slowly over the next couple weeks, I became more and more obsessed and finally decided it was time for me to fully enter the fandom space. What inspired me to come to Tumblr was Kofi's tachycardia drawing being posted on TikTok. Yes! I will link
Yes.
that because I have it on my
I
wall
love
behind
that.
me. That one went kind of viral on TikTok. I remember people were posting about it and being like, wait, I think I shipped them now, which is them with like the stethoscopes on their heart. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I saw it and I said, damn, I gotta get on Tumblr. So I made my account and here we are. 4 months later, and I'm absolutely enthralled by the show and these characters. Why do I love Kingdon, you ask? Where do I even start? I actually honestly don't know where to start. There's so many reasons to love them. Again, as I said, unfortunately, when I watched season 1, I wasn't Kingdon pilled, so I can't speak for myself in season 1, aside from the fandom content I consume now. I really, really need to rewatch season 1. I am a fake fan. Kill me! We're doing a season 1
Oh my
rewatch
gosh.
next. Girl, we're doing a season 1 rewatch. Don't worry, you can lock in.
Yay.
Um, but from the second I saw Mel run up to Frank with her arms wide open to accept him back into the space fully and actually exactly as he is, I was fucking hooked. Sorry guys, Angel and I have filthy mouths. I think that's part of why we get along so well. We do,
Yeah.
we do. I swore a lot more last episode and cut some of it out. I have a really filthy mouth.
Whoops. You're
Sorry.
okay.
That's really the underlying reason behind why I love them so much. They are the only people for each other who meet each other exactly where they are. For Mel, it doesn't matter what other people think or say. Frank is Frank. He's the only person who made an effort to get to know her and understand her. Even after working with those people for 10 whole months, this is still the case. He came back from probably the worst 10 months of his life and he still makes an effort with her. And for Frank, he sees this person who's different but doesn't hold back. He sees how
Mm.
she reacts to things. He sees how she interacts with people, and he files them in his brain and does right by her every damn time. Exactly,
Yes.
exactly, exactly. Throughout the first season, he is
Ooh.
shown to be an always on the move kind of guy, bouncing up and down, spinning in chairs. But he slowed down for her. He stopped and took the time to talk with her, and he still continues to do that to this day. The fact that they remember things from each other after knowing each other for one terrible shift and being apart for 10 months, that's insane. Yeah, it is. The fact that she says nice
Insane.
things about him to Becca, keyword says meaning it still happens, that's insane. The way he looked at her when Becca said she sees why she likes him, that's insane. The amount of
Yes.
comfort they provide each other after only knowing each other for 2 days, that's insane. I can say from experience, being the weird neurodivergent girl in spaces I occupy, my current partner, who I've been with since 2022, was one of the cooler people in high school. He had a lot of friends, got voted class clown our senior year, and was in with most people. I was not. But he took the time to get to know me, and I'm forever grateful for him. Shout out Allison's partner. We love
So
this. This is so cute. I
cute.
can't. Living real life Kingdon, my heart. It always felt wonderful to have someone who took time to learn me when he could have chosen to be anywhere else. So that's my take. I hope you enjoyed reading. I'll probably send another ask with my finale thoughts. Oh my god. Okay, I want to respond to that before we
Yay.
read your finale ask, because oh my god. Thank you for shouting me out too. What if I cried? It's my own
Oh, that's so
podcast, and I'm still like,
sweet.
I can't. You're so nice. She's the best. We love her. Everyone, go check her out. Go support her. I don't even have anything else to add other than exactly. You just got it
Nailed
completely
it.
right. Completely right. Completely right. I again from another neurodivergent girl, that feeling of I am so Mel, I so get people walk away from me when I'm talking all the time, people ignore me all the time, and for her to have someone who just shows up, I can't.
Mhm.
That's the crux of
It's
Kingdom.
it's the most romantic part of it all. And
Exactly.
it's just and it's I feel like it's romantic in the sense that it's not trying to be
No,
romantic.
he just knows her.
It's just there and it's
Yep.
just something that can it's subtle, but it's unwavering. It's like, the sun's going to rise and
Exactly.
he'll still be there.
Yep, it's that unwavering devotion that didn't break for 10 whole months that they were apart. They met and it's like no time passed. They were just back to each other. And
Mhm.
it was so notable for Mel that she talked about it for the 10 months he was gone to the point where her sister remarked upon it. That is crazy. Okay, for the pod, all right, from Allison, my thoughts on the finale. I truly believe their scene in the finale was the perfect way to wrap up season 2 for them. Exactly.
Yes.
I
Yes.
appreciate them taking the time to write it from the perspectives of equals and friends and completely flatten out any possibility of them remaining mentor mentee. Exactly.
Yep.
Frank walking out to her is awkward. Going to talk to my crush, hee hee vibe was so perfect. Him checking his phone so he seems nonchalant, asking if she's seen Robbie. Boy, shut the fuck up. We know you weren't looking for Robbie. The second you saw him inside, you attempted to avoid having any conversation with him. Exactly.
Yes.
It
Yes.
wasn't until Robbie initiated the conversation that he even considered talking to him. Making small talk about the weather before, the conversation about Becca, Mel opening up to him once again about how she's processing everything because she knows he truly cares. Frank gently initiating it, always being careful not to push, hesitating so he knows he uses the right words to say exactly what he wants to say, to make sure he doesn't come off as judgmental or pushy. Then ultimately checking in on her and asking how her day was, and Mel choosing to be open with him that, yeah, her day wasn't great. And the way she says you, oh, she's such a cutie. I love her so much.
She
the
is
way the way I
the
know everyone
cutest.
else, she's the cutest. Cutie Patootie Award. The way I know anyone else would have asked her as a courtesy, and then she gave her answer, they probably would have said, yeah, that's pretty shitty, or just straight up walked away. I think that's why she didn't ask him back at first. She probably never been given the chance to have a two-sided conversation with anyone else in the hospital,
Stop.
because they either don't actually
Stop.
care about how her day was, or they just straight up walk away when she tries to continue the conversation. Yeah, and we see that
Oh.
all season. Like her being like, how are you doing? And Santos is already gone. Or,
Yeah.
like she can't seem to, get people to acknowledge her. And so she's literally not used to it. I also kind of love how she's so lost in thought and then she remembers that she's talking to him and he's just still staying there quietly waiting for her. He doesn't push her. Like Allison was saying, he doesn't push her. He just waits. He's just
Yes.
there. I can't. Yeah.
Hmm.
Always,
I
always,
love
always. It makes
them.
my heart sing. I know. I'm telling her about the reduction after season 1 when she wanted so badly to tell him about the delivery. The amount of parallels
Ah.
between these characters is so fucking insane. It makes my brain turn to mush. There's so many, so many, and she was so fucking excited for him. So excited. The shaking hand, insane. I don't even need to expand on that. Everyone knows exactly what I'm
Insane.
talking about. Her little laugh and him asking her to teach her something sometime. She's so fucking happy to have him back. She wanted nothing more for the past 10 months than to have this one person in her life, and here he is, ready and willing to be someone for her, no matter what that is. Friends, best friends, lovers. She's so happy that he's here and choosing to be with her. Also, just the fucking thought of him teaching her the procedure, dead on sight. I love the way he seems slightly surprised by the fact that she trusts him and has accepted this is who he is and that he's ready and that she's ready to support him. And she's so happy to be back too. And I have one person he knows will always have his back. Must be so huge for him. And again, Mel with the constant encouragement and reassurance. Yes, Frank, you are a good doctor and you can do these amazing things because despite what you think, I know you can. And finally, the
Yes.
thank you we've all dreamed of. It was so tender and so beautiful. The
So
way they
sweet.
soften each other is so fucking beautiful. I will never ever get over it. He appreciates her more than anyone else in this hospital, and he's only known her for 2 shifts, under like 30 hours, mind you. I
Crazy.
can't. I can't. I guarantee you
It's
she's been there for
so
other people
crazy.
in that way, and she's probably never heard a sincere thank you. I guarantee you people have snapped at her exponentially worse than the way Frank considers snapping, because baby, that was
Yes.
not snapping. I just know
Oh.
he couldn't stop thinking about that moment all night, and she's never heard an apology. And here he is, 2 shifts, and he's already taking accountability for when he feels like could have hurt her. And her, it's okay, ugh, I'll never get over the scene. It's my 10 out of 10 Kingdon scene. The atmosphere, the tenderness, and the fireworks off screen is the absolute cherry on top. You can hear them, but you don't need to see them, because we already can. Ah! Also, like,
Yes.
oh, fireworks sounds going off after they have this really buzzy conversation. Geez, wonder what that could mean. No, because I saw that post on Tumblr of like the fireworks are going off in the background and they're
Crazy.
having that experience. It's so amazing. Thank you, Allison.
Yes,
I feel like
Allison.
I don't have anything else to add. I feel like she really wrapped it up well.
That was perfect.
Um,
I feel like she was a lot more cohesive with her thoughts than I was. I was
yeah,
just
I know. She
feeling.
really, Allison, you really put it together for us. Thank you, girl. I had some cohesive thoughts, but for the most part, I'm just kind of like, I'm here to talk about my Kingdon, my doctors. Okay, I guess we should wrap this up. I will plug the
Awesome.
pod. Keep listening to the pod. Thank you all for being here. There was a lot of love on the last episode that I really appreciate. Thank you for everyone who sent stuff in. If you want to send stuff in again, I believe right now it's the pinned post on my Tumblr has the questions I wanted to ask for this week. I'm going to put out a new set of questions for next week. Depending on what episode we do, it'll either be the infidelity episode or a rewatch.
Juicy.
Still deciding. Maybe it'll be a little bit of both, who knows?
Ooh.
And then I'm planning on doing like rewatch episodes again, so get ready for that. I'll repost about that in Kingdon Nation and then also on my Tumblr and just in the Kingdon tag talking about like what episodes. I'm planning on doing multiple episodes because they don't interact a lot in every episode. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do a season 1 and season 2 rewatch. Read all of our fanfic. We write fanfic. Go on the Kingdon AO3 and read fanfic. If you learn anything from this pod, go
It's
read fanfic.
so, yes, fanfic is everything, and the more the merrier. If
The
you want to write, get out there and start because
it,
it's so worth
if
it.
you think it's bad, even better. How
Yes.
else are we supposed to learn? I want to read all of it. Every piece of fan work you make is special and beautiful and perfect, and I love it.
Yes.
You're so special. It's amazing. Go read it. And if you also, when you're engaging with fan work, don't forget to comment and tell the people who made it that you love it, because that's how we get
Yes.
more fan work. It's a gift economy, guys. You got to be real nice and say that you loved it. And I'm a big believer in commenting under fanfic. I'm a big believer in bookmarking and being like, this was amazing. I love
Yes.
it.
Kudos.
Even if you're just commenting heart emojis or saying ah, that's what we want to see. Um, that's
Yes,
the vibe we want.
that is the wind beneath our wings. Like that's how you get another chapter, girl. Just
Exactly. That's how you get
let
us to
it
keep
go.
posting. We will get even more feral if you love on us. Yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want. You're welcome to do that. You also don't
Yes.
have to. You don't have to do that. Go follow Purplebutterflyglasses on Tumblr immediately. Go follow
That's
Paige. Thank you
me.
so. Yes, that's her. We love her so much. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
for being our
you. I
first
love you
guest.
guys. I've had
We're so
so
happy
much
to have you here.
fun.
Yes, you're always welcome back. Obviously, we're so happy to have you.
Yay.
You're welcome to send stuff in. Thank you to Paige. Go follow her, please. Bye.